Unconditional yes. That's the word that I heard recently from the Lord. I was spending a time in prayer and I just felt the Lord so strongly come up on me and say, tell my children that they need to have an unconditional yes in this new season. And as I started just praying into it and just seeking the Lord on this word at a greater dimension, God just started showing me that so many people enter into covenant with Him, and in their mind they're entering into just a relationship with the Lord. He may give them an amazing calling or purpose or destiny or new vision, and they step into it, and then all of a sudden what happens is they come out of the prayer room. Now in the prayer room where it's just you and God and you're spending that time and you feel the strength of the Lord around you and angels are dancing and you got your favorite worship song on and the perfect cup of coffee, you can conquer the world. But as soon as you enter into the real world and step out of the prayer room and critics and haters and people come against you, you're going to understand, is your yes to God and what He's called you to conditional or unconditional? How many people have you seen in your life that they'll call you on the phone, they'll text you, they'll say, man, I got this amazing vision from God. I'm going to do this, this, and this. They get so excited. They step out and then all of a sudden, what in the world happened? People came against them. Their parents, their friends, their co-workers said, that makes no sense. That's wild. That's crazy. You can't do that. And then all of a sudden, this God-ordained word that they stepped out into, they were going to change the world in some field, in some organization, it was some business. All of a sudden, they crept back and they didn't do it anymore. That is because their yes was conditional. You've got to have an unconditional yes with God. If you ever see somebody who has been married for 50 years, they had an unconditional yes. If you see somebody who has launched a business and has been doing it for years, when they launched their business, inside of themselves, they had an unconditional yes. If you see somebody who's been in ministry for 20 years, I guarantee you they had an unconditional yes inside of them. That's why so many people start so many different ministries, jobs. That's why when people are young and they try to date, they have so many different relationships. You see some people have a new best friend every 6 to 8 months. You see some people in ministry who align with people, and every year they're in a new alignment. Why? They don't have an unconditional yes. What you have to do in life is you have to say, God, what do you want me to do? Where do you want me to live? Who do you want me to run with? And when God says enter into a covenant with something, a dream, a vision, a person, a ministry, a business, you got to have that unconditional yes, and you've got to go for it with everything that you have. I see so many people today, they're so wishy-washy. They have no root system. They do not allow their roots to run deep anywhere. They get easily offended. They run to the newest, the hottest thing going, the best thing, that they chase down every prophetic word and claim it as their own. What we have to do is live a life of prayer, live a life of fasting. And when God gives us something, we got to allow our roots to run deep in that. We've got to stand up and be strong. We have to stand up and say, God, you have my unconditional yes. And the reason why is because when you start stepping up and say, I'm going to launch this new business, everybody around you will tell you you can't do it. Another thing is when you say, I'm going to launch this business in that region, every person that you're going to be competing against is going to come against you. When you get ready to launch a new ministry, every church that views you as a competition will come against you. Hey, there should be no competition in the kingdom of God. You got me? But the thing is, when you launch out, everybody will come against you. You must have an unconditional yes. When you get ready to start bettering yourself physically, working out, eating right, people will try to come against you. You got to understand, when you get a word from God, it is an unconditional yes. So many times people step into a new field, they step into a new arena of life, and when hard times come, tragedy comes, trials and tribulations come, they will back up. But you know what? They had a conditional yes. This is the time that the children of God must rise up in life, in marriage, in parenting, in business, in ministry, in entrepreneuring, and social media and everything, and they have to have an unconditional yes. Now I'm going to give you this right here, and it's going to help you. Whenever you say yes to God, people are coming against you. Haters are going to come out of the woodwork. Critics are going to find you. It's okay. It's only going to make you stronger. Go for the things that God has put in your heart and have an unconditional yes. And you got to have an unwavering spirit about you. And you must remember that God's voice must be the loudest voice in your life. Because if it's not, you'll have conditions and you'll never be stable. I hope this helped. If you want more information about anything that we do, go to jojodawson.net. You can find our blogs, you can find our videos and all the different things that we're doing, where we are when we travel and do ministry, and I would love to connect with you. Thanks.